go. Sorry about the internet. The clips before will be posted separately. We're going to let them stay up, and that'll be our beginning to the show. And we're just going to go right into the Super Bowl talk and move on from there. We just want to apologize again for the internet. And we will have this all figured out by next week. I'm very sorry. But the Super Bowl, it was a very exciting game. It was incredible, actually. Pretty boring first half, unless you're a Falcons fan.
Blowout, yeah.
Or if you hate the Patriots. But, yeah, what did you think of it?
I think it definitely exceeded expectations, even though expectations were already pretty high because of the high-powered offense of the Falcons, and then New England in general. They always bring a lot of buzz, so... But yeah, coming out, I mean, the Falcons just looked like they did in all the other playoff games. Their offense was clicking. They were getting big chunks after big chunks. Defense was getting sacks. They were hurrying Tom. They were making it really difficult for the Patriots to move the ball and to score points. And
it looked like, the Patriots looked like a high school team playing against like a Division I college team.
Yeah,
it's
unlike any Patriots game.
It was insane. I saw really the stat bizarre. Where they said the Patriots have never scored in the first quarter of a Super Bowl, which is understandable. It's a big game, but
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. But it was just shocking how bad they were getting whooped in the beginning of that game.
And then even opening of the second half, I believe the Patriots went 3 and out. And then Atlanta goes back down and scores again pretty handily.
Yep.
So
28-3.
It's 28-3. That's
Falcons are going to get their first title.
That's when I believe most people probably checked out. I know. There was a piece of me who always believes that Brady has a chance. But even then, 25 points in a Super Bowl, you have the second half to just kind of. You have to basically play perfect, and that's what they did. They came in and they came into the second half and they were playing lights out. The Patriots looked like the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom had some time. He's playing. He's ripping off passes. They're starting to get chunks of yards, and then the points are just starting to rack up. And one of the biggest stats I saw from the game is 37 first downs for New England and only 17 for Atlanta.
And what's funny about that is in the beginning of the game, it was polar opposite. Most of those 37 came within the fourth and towards the end of the third quarter. It wasn't even. I wonder what those numbers looked like at halftime. How many first downs it was at halftime?
It was not nearly as many.
Oh God, no!
But that's even the thing. Atlanta they were getting such big chunks of yardage, so they weren't having to.
They wouldn't have to worry about
third downs, or they weren't having these circumstances that were coming. They had to make them really work for it. They were kind of just waltzing their way down, putting points on the board, and a lot of Falcons fans. I think a lot of the Falcons team. They probably thought, even them, they were sitting on the sideline thinking, we just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And they still had a long time to still go. So, I think that just shows any amount of points any comeback is possible. It seems, because it seemed impossible.
Especially with all the championship games that have happened. The Cavs, the Cubs. Clemson.
3-1.
So much has happened.
This year alone, all the championships have been incredible.
The time of possession is shocking.
Yeah,
40
huge.
minutes to 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
New they were converting. I think that's
handled.
That defense is. The Falcons' defense is coming out there. They're on the field pretty much the entire game compared to. Look. That means the Patriots' defense was on the field for the majority of the game. So. Mentally exhausted once they see that the Patriots are starting to rack up points. Their confidence is on the rise. You could see Atlanta just slipping, and you could just see the momentum. One's going up and one's going down.
Yeah, look at the third down efficiency. New England went 7-14, and the Falcons went 1-8. This is all ESPN.com.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just tell they were. I mean, the 1 4th down, they went 1 and 1. I mean,
big 4th down too.
Yeah, it was a huge 4th.
But yeah, even when it's tied at 28, the Falcons they get a huge catch by Julio Jones.
Oh,
one of the
toe smacker.
And
not
the
even
fact
the
how the ball was able to come down enough not to get tipped by the corner, and his physical dexterity to get the toes in bounds, and then after that they're in field goal range. So even then you're thinking, okay, they're going to get a field goal out of this.
Yep.
They're going to make the Patriots run their timeouts out. That's not how it went. I don't know what play calling went about, but then it was the big sack by Flowers, and then a holding call, and then it's 3rd and 23, and they're out of field goal range, and now they got a punt. So there's all these little plays that even within the big comeback, Edelman's catch. I mean,
game
you
changer.
You could not write that. People would not believe you.
Brady doesn't have 7 Super Bowls now because of a couple crazy catches, and now he has a crarazy catch on his.
And one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
It was insane.
I mean,
we believed in the comeback.
Yeah, that's what we watched it together, and I believe a lot of people, most people counted them out, but there was just that thing in the back of my head that Brady, Belichick factor is always going to be a factor.
They just needed that one touchdown to get momentum,
to get rolling, exactly. And even they miss the extra point, and you're like, man. This just doesn't look like the Patriots. Yeah, it just felt like one of those games that they were just going to be behind, and then I cannot believe the outcome, and it was incredibly fun to watch. I believe it was one of the most viewed Super Bowls of all time. Yeah. So
he's now a 4-time MVP,
5-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah,
that's
4-time Super Bowl MVP. Sorry.
Right, but I mean.
Yeah. 5-time Super Bowl champ.
And Brady had the most yardage in a Super Bowl because he was just dealing, and it went into overtime. And the overtime coin toss goes to New England.
Yep. So and with how they were rolling, it's just
there's no way it was going to be stopped.
It was meant to be.
There was no way it was.
And people are still going to hate on him. They're still going to hate on the organization. They're going to hate on Belichick. They're going to hate on everything that has to do with New England
because they're great.
Because they're great.
Because they win a lot. They win consistently and.
They've had a couple questionable things happen in their past, but
they've just gotten caught.
Does questionable.
I'll say it. They're the only ones that get caught. Yeah.
I mean, no one gets angry with Drew Brees and says his ring doesn't count because of all the betting and stuff that was going on with that defense and stuff like that. But I mean, I have nothing else to add to the Super Bowl.
It pretty much it cements Tom Brady's legacy.
Legacy.
If it wasn't already cemented to begin with.
And some things to look forward about is the Falcons. They're young. They were at the Super Bowl. This is probably, other than winning, they probably can't see it now, but perspective-wise, this is one of the best things that could have happened to them.
Get
all
the way there.
Having a loss like that is going to eat at them. It ate at LeBron when he lost in 2011, and he came back and won 2 in a row. I'm not saying they're going to come back and win 2 in a row, but they're going to be right back there next year unless they have major injuries throughout next season, which, knock on wood, I never want that to happen to any team. I want everyone to be as healthy as possible.
If they stay healthy, they're going to be a top-tier team.
They're going to be right there again, and people are going to be scared to play them.
Their young defensive players are starting to step up a lot, too. It's just their inability to stop anything the Patriots had in the second half was really it. Coaching was a huge piece in that game.
And a lot of it has to do with that time of possession. The defense was out on there a lot. The defense was worn down. They couldn't get there as quick. And the Patriots were just clicking. They were firing on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. But let's shift gears here a little bit and transition into some NBA.
Now it's the glory days of the NBA. Now that the NFL's over.
The NFL's over. Let's talk NBA.
Light shines on the court now.
We like to kick off our NBA segments, those of you new to the show, with Jared's Player of the Night. And
Player of the Week, I guess.
Player of the Week, whatever it is.
We do the show once a week, so
so basically Player of the Week.
I like to pick a stat line throughout the week that kind of jumps off the page, and sometimes I try not to go with the standard guys who always kind of, but it's hard not to. Like this week, I was just looking up some numbers and just trying to make my decision, and then you see Russell Westbrook, And you're like,
so that's your pick.
It's my player of the week is going to be Russell Westbrook. They played Memphis, beat them by I believe 8 points. Kind of a closer game, but I mean Russell was everything that he is and more. 38 points on 40% shooting, so he didn't necessarily
wasn't that efficient.
Wasn't super efficient, but that's Russell. I mean, that's what you take. He took 20 shots, he made 8. So
did he get the triple double?
13 rebounds, 12 assists,
wow,
3 steals. But the piece of the stat that really kind of stands out to me is the 17 for 17 from the free throw line. So he's getting to the line a lot, like a lot of other elite players do. So I think, I mean, his triple doubles come and they come in heaps, and that's just kind of what he does. But I think this game particularly against a tough defensive team, Memphis. I mean, he shot. 38 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists is a huge stat line for him. Even Russell, that's a huge stat line. So he's pretty much single-handedly got him to a 30-22 record in the playoff hunt. So I mean, Russell's going to keep doing this.
He's a triple-double hunt.
Yeah. I mean, you could still argue that he could be the player of the week every week just by what he does. So yeah, this week Russell Westbrook, he's going to keep doing it. So he might end up popping up here the next couple weeks too, because I mean, I don't see him stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing that happened this week, I believe it was Sunday, was Paul Pierce's last game in Boston.
Yep.
He's retiring, so he came back as a Clipper. Me and Keith, our producer, we watched the end of it, and it was really cool to see because the fans, the Boston fans, were chanting Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah,
as loud as they ever have.
At the end,
yeah,
she made that.
I mean, you can't, right? Like that's another thing in sports. It's so cool. You see a guy who's played. He's brought them. He had so many good seasons in Boston. He brought him championships, and he comes back as an opponent, and the amount of respect that he still gets is really cool to see. Comes in for the last 19 seconds of the game. You don't really expect anything too crazy. Comes in, gets the pass, top of the key, boom, swooshes a three.
Right away.
Comes in cold off the bench. Hadn't played since the first quarter, so awesome to see. Paul Pierce is a guy. He's a huge competitor. Super fun to watch. Hits game tying, game clutch shots.
He's known for clutch game winners. I would say that's one of
that's
his
probably
legacies.
One of his. Yeah, would be a clutch.
One of his things people are going to remember is the clutch gene. He definitely had it. The truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was one of the key components to that 2008 championship team with Garnett and Ray Allen, Rondo. He ended up getting the Finals MVP. That was their 17th title there in Boston. And I mean, you bring the city of Boston a title.
A team
and if you're the MVP, they're going to cherish you and they're going to embrace you forever. Doesn't matter. He went on to Brooklyn, the Wizards. Now he's with the Clippers. Doesn't matter where he goes. He comes back and they love him. Yep. And that's what they do. They treat their alumni with respect.
That's true. That's one thing you can't argue about Boston. They're diehard.
Yeah,
they are. I mean, that portion of the country lives and breathes sports.
They really do.
I mean, it's
so
cold.
And crappy,
it's cold.
That's all they got.
The weather sucks. People are rude, and they just love their team.
It's very cluttered too. It's very cluttered. But another I guess
NBA milestone.
Yeah, NBA milestone. Popovich ended up getting he passed Jerry Sloan for most wins all time with one franchise. He notched his 1,128th win with the San Antonio Spurs, where he's the head coach and general manager of the team. I mean, Pop's legacy is already cemented.
I think Pop has the sort of the prowess as sort of Belichick does in the NFL, maybe with not as many championships, because the NBA's, I feel like for the Spurs,
both have 5.
Yeah, do they really?
They both now have 5.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's almost a nice parallel. But it's cool to see.
Could say Popovich wouldn't have gotten those 5 with Tim Duncan. Belichick wouldn't have got those without Brady.
There's sort of a nice parallel there, but it's cool to see anytime there's one coach or one player at one organization and they have so much success at one organization.
Oh, yeah.
I think that has so much more respect within the basketball community as a whole. because a lot of times some guys run around chasing certain things, but Pop stuck to what he believed in. He stuck with his team. He stuck by his rookies and Tim Duncan and when David Robinson. He develops these guys into. You never see controversy coming out of San Antonio.
And you see the veterans that were the prime, like they were at one point the key pieces to that team. Most of the time what happens is you become a main player for a team. You establish yourself, maybe you win some championships for them. They want to then downgrade your role once you get a little bit older. Most guys have such an ego, they don't want to do that. I'm going somewhere else where they still think I got talent, they're going to give me the money, I'm going to go be the main guy here. They don't do as well most of the time. Sometimes they still do good.
The rare expectation.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets his veterans that, like, Manu, he's got all those guys. Tony, I mean, I think Tony still starts. He's had some injuries this year,
he's known for the whole resting players thing.
They
that kind of came from Bob
to the bench role seamlessly. Yeah, they don't have a problem with it. They know they're going to end up probably getting a ring out of it. So
they know in the end it's probably going to benefit them to just believe in what Pop has to say and believe in what he brings to the team.
Exactly. Sticking with, we're still in the Western Conference here.
Yeah, it was with some tough news. I mean, injuries happened in the NBA. I hate when it's an ACL because immediately that's it for them.
Yep, they're done.
Especially with as fun of a player as Zach LaVine is. I believe he wasn't going to do the dunk contest this year anyway, but seeing as how he tore his ACL, he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So for the outlook on the Timberwolves, I think that's more minutes for Brandon Rush. That's more minutes for Shabazz Muhammad. Wiggins is going to pick up some slack. Minnesota is a team that has a lot of young pieces too. So
young, and they need to get those minutes.
Yeah.
So it is bad.
It hurts them, but in the end, it might end up benefiting them because Zach came out of the gate flying.
Yeah.
But he sort of was trailing off here in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't really been playing as well. Kind of shoots. His shooting was sort of going down as not going up. So I think Minnesota's had not a good season considering what they think bringing in Tibbs and all the young players they do have.
They're young. They're going to build within the next probably 2 to 4 years. If they can stay healthy, keep their guys, and really develop. They're going to be a team in the East that's going to be in playoff contention. The West. I'm sorry. They're not going to be a top seed. Probably not even top 4. Let's be honest. They're probably going to be a 6, 7, 8 seed. But
depending on what they can do in the next draft, and a couple of drafts coming, maybe make a few free agent moves, maybe trade one of their young pieces. Depending on Wiggins or whatever, all these pieces, they have value. So
yeah, definitely. I would like to take a minute to shift gears to old Miami.
It's just a ridiculous run right now.
R.I.P. Wade. Not literally, just the jersey, no one's... I don't know if anyone has the number 3 right now on the roster. It's something I probably should know, but...
I don't think they would give that away.
I don't think they're going to let people use it, even if they did. But, Hassan had a big night, 30 points, 20 rebounds. He got it in a short amount of minutes, too, I believe. But 10 straight. Best win streak in the East right now, I think, all season. Best win streak out of anybody, even the Cavs.
And they've been riddled with injuries, too.
I
just can't believe Tyler Johnson just came back.
But Heat fans down, I'm sure Miami, South Beach, they're going to tell anybody they can that this is real and it's going to develop something and they're finding their groove, which they are finding a groove, but I think it's just a mid-season groove. I don't think this is real.
Yeah, if you look at it realistically, it's not sustainable by any means. Their biggest star is their center, so I don't think necessarily a team that has...
Who is ego-headed and not very team-centric.
Exactly.
Great player. I follow him on Snapchat, on Twitter, all that. He is great stuff. Hassan.
It's kind of unusual.
Not team-centric.
The way that he came out of the D-League and stuff and then just sort of burst on the scene, you'd think someone like that would have a little bit more, team-oriented play because they're just sort of coming into this role, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I mean, I guess it just with his ego, he's just like, this is me now. I'm taking this. I'm taking this on full-headed.
I'm $120 man.
Which is
$120 million man.
Yeah, and I mean, God, the contract. Yeah,
he got a crazy contract.
He's got a big contract. I mean, they brought in Dragic, who'd been in trade talks because they kind of have a lot of guards. They have Justice Winslow, who's like kind of like a hybrid point guard, like small forward type of player who can do a lot with the ball, and but they don't have that guy like who you can toss the ball to in a clutch moment and expect him to make a shot. Dragic is sort of a drive and dish, can hit shots. He's actually been coming on pretty strong this season too, from what he did last year. But I mean, especially Deion Waiters is playing as well as he is. That's, if you know NBA at all, you know that Deion Waiters he's the sixth guy on your team, but he firmly believes he's the number one player in the NBA.
He's like Mario Chalmers, and I mean Chalmers gets grief for that too.
He's just, which it's not a bad thing to like be confident within yourself, but when it's unrealistic,
you have to.
And I mean, it brings about terrible field goal percentage and selfish behavior.
Yep.
But then again, when that does happen and the shots are falling, he can put up 35 points.
So exactly. It's just whether or not he's on or off.
The team doesn't. I can't believe they're on a 10 win.
I feel like J.R. Smith used to kind of be like that, but now that he's played longer, he's played with LeBron,
came into his role
won that title. He understands being a role player, and it's not a bad thing.
No, and Waiters doesn't think he's a role player.
But he is, and he just needs to accept it.
He's the number one player in the NFL.
He could be a commodity on a championship team if he would just accept it.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing.
I mean, that might be what keeps him from a title. But let's go.
Definitely not a sustainable run, though.
No, definitely not a sustainable run. Let's go back to the All-Star break. Talk a little bit. The coaches are going to be Brad Stevens on the East and Steve Kerr on the West. Brad Stevens, burst onto the scene with Horizon League champion 08, 10, and 11 with Butler. Came in as like one of the youngest coaches in the NBA with the Celtics. And this is his first like award, I guess you'd say, for the NBA, really. But he's a great young coach. The team, it seems like his players listen to him and believe in what he's preaching, and really he has a good relationship with them, and which is kind of strange because he's only 40. You would think they would want someone a little bit more their elder to be like, dude, what have you done?
I mean, look at the trend that it's going anyway. Luke Walton in LA.
But Walton also has like 3 rings.
Yeah, but he's still not their elder to the point where
he's not older. But he has the resume.
So that's what he can resonate with.
He has a resume too.
But no, I think it's cool to see Brad Stevens and Steve Kerr because those are two younger coaches.
Young guys.
And
Kerr's a little bit older.
Yeah, but it shows the trend. It shows the trend of where things are going in the NBA. Maybe we'll start to see younger coaches because then they can really click and they resonate with their players better because these younger coaches are proving that they do have the ability to coach these guys and manage these egos even at a younger age.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. It's going to be a good All-Star game. Chances are it's going to be a gigantic scoring fest like it has been the last few years.
But like we said last week when we were talking about the NFL Pro Bowl, the NBA All-Star game is so well done because you don't need to play crazy defense for it to be a fun game. The effort level can still be there, and it can still be exciting, and yet they still don't threaten injury. Yeah. That's where it differs from the NFL and stuff. Is NFL you can't really half-ass anything, or you're gonna you could possibly get injured. So, I love All-Star Weekend. I sit at home and I watch everything on All-Star Weekend. I absolutely love it. I eat it up. Watching the big guys in the skills competition is fun. 3-point contest, dunk contest. Few young guys in the dunk contest, but I think it'll be fun to watch. Like
it will be fun. Be sure to tune into that. We're gonna go to our short commercial break here, and then we will come back and wrap up the show with some disc golf talk and go into some gaming. We are going to discuss FIFA 17 tonight. So we will see you guys here in a minute. We are brought to you by Iron Lion Disc Golf Supply. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. You can order all your stuff online. Go to ironliondgs.com. They have great customer service, and they will point you in the right direction of whatever you need, whether it be some clothing, an umbrella, a new bag, or if you need a new putter. Go check them out. We're unmuted.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you.
Hey.
Welcome back from the break. After the break, we like to go straight into our disc golf segment. So this weekend, not a lot of tournaments, not a lot of action going on. So we still got a few things to talk about here, and we'll end with Lib's Disc of the Week. So it was announced that Adidas Terex signs on as a course sponsor at the National Tour, the Gentlemen's Club Challenge in Vegas. So kind of what does that mean for the sport kind of moving forward?
Well, Ulta World Disc Golf, they posted a great article all about it. And but what it means for the sport in a larger scale is definitely, I mean, a good sign. It's a sign of bigger things to come. I mean, they really got involved last year. They sponsored Paul Macbeth, and they've introduced 5 new players onto their team. Philo, Madison Walker, Eagle McMahon. But for them stepping in to be a sponsor of a tournament is a completely different level.
See, yeah.
And it's going to be cool to see how they present that course. I honestly have always thought that we just need one big company to fall in love with the sport, and really can take it to the next level. And
just
Adidas,
bring it mainstream. Just try and get it into mainstream media in some sense.
Exactly. It blows my mind that we have Ultimate Frisbee and the most random things on ESPN3 that you can watch stream live from your Xbox and stuff sometimes, but you can never see disc golf. It's just shocking to me.
It would be cool to see like a disc golf tournament brought to you by Adidas or something like that. Maybe on an ESPN2, even if it is a weird slot time, or maybe just a brief preview or a something along those sorts.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to see an ad campaign that, like, just by a company like this, what they could do with even not a lot of money, just to it would skyrocket. People would be wondering, what is this? How do I get this? Can I play this? Like,
I mean, Adidas they do so much money in revenue every year.
Yeah, you think
they're a company that could throw $500,000 to $1 million into this if it was something that whoever's directing and running to that area is really into.
That's all it's going to take. It's going to take somebody who loves the game being a high up at a company like that.
And that's what it's
with someone with some influence.
But for them to sponsor the national tour, being a part of the national tour series is also a good sign. That's one of the main tours for our pros, and getting a big name company like Adidas outside of the disc golf world, not just Innova or Discraft or Dynamic Disc, it's out of our realm, so it's really awesome. You're gonna see, if you check out the coverage on it when that weekend happens, you're gonna see basically all the main pros there. It'll be exciting. Philo, I believe, won it last year, so it'll be interesting to see if he can defend his title. I personally think Ricky Wysocki is just on such a tear from last year, continuing into this year with the Aussie Open. I think it's going to be a battle between him, Eagle, and Paul Macbeth. It's going to come down. Maybe Nate Doss sneak in there too. That'd be nice if he's even playing. I don't even know. But also the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the championship location was announced, and it's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. It's an old golf course, and it's like 405 acres. There's going to be 4 courses on it. There's camping, a pro shop, other amenities. My guess would be with other amenities would be a pool or something along those sorts. I don't know what else.
Just some recreational things for kids and stuff like that or something.
Steve Dodge talks all about it here in this Ultra World article. You can check them out on Twitter or just go to their website, and you can see all their articles there. Very well researched and written.
But I mean, that's just something else that proves that they're starting to be
growing.
Because it's getting in a bigger.
It's a facility.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so cool to see something like that. Because when you see it in a professional environment, it makes it feel more professional.
Yes,
it makes it feel more real. So then when you go out,
well groomed,
the tee pads are turf, and it's so cool to see pictures and to see things like that, see it moving forward into those directions.
Yeah, definitely. It's called the New World Disc Golf Complex in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's going to be awesome. I think Macbeth won the Disc Golf Pro Tour last year, but it's a stretch. It's like 6 or 7 events. It's gonna go through the course of the year. This actually isn't going to happen until October. It's like mid or late October that happens. So we look forward to just a good disc golf season.
But yeah, like I said, not a whole bunch going on in disc golf, but still like to find things we can talk about just to talk about the sport and stuff. So to end the segment, we do it every week. The disc of the week, Lip's disc of the week. So what do you got for us this week?
This week, I am going with the Innova Nova. It is, it's like two different plastics like molded together basically, and it's very rubbery on this side, and it's the normal plastic right there. So this, I don't putt with it, even though it is a putt and approach disc. I use it for approach shots and throws off the tee pad on this really short hole. If it's a weird green and it's an awkward slope and there's a hillside on it, this rubber edge, it sticks so well. And you will find that you are not going to have as many kick-ups and rollaways with a Nova. It is one of my favorite approach discs as a putter. Other than that, I approach with Wizards.
Yeah,
but Wizards are kind of known to kick up and roll on you, and this just really gets the job done. There are all different styles and color variations of the rims. I have a few other ones.
And so it's a very nice looking disc as far as like the two-tone color, and if you can see on the back how the other pieces of the plastic and how it's molded together. Sort of an interesting dynamic when it comes to the way that it was created. I wonder.
They have a couple like that.
Someone probably thought, hey, I like the way this flies with this plastic, but maybe if we could incorporate a way of, like you said, in shorter, tighter areas to make it stick and not roll or go down a hillside. Because you think even in a small area, if there's a slope this way and you even kick it out a little bit and that rolls, that's 2 strokes, 3 strokes just in getting yourself back up there.
Especially if it's a heavily wooded course and you're down in between and it's summertime, all the leaves are up and you have to throw I mean, things can definitely go wrong. But I would suggest looking into them. Innova discs, Nova, N-O-V-A. I know it's weird saying all of that, but I really like it. That is the one directly out of my bag. This is one that I throw. I have a couple more at home, but this one still gets the job done. So
Lip's disc of the week is the Innova Nova.
Yeah, the Innova Nova.
So to end the show, we always do a gaming segment. The last few times we went over Overwatch.
Our friend Garrett bailed on us. Garrett Harris.
We were supposed to have a gaming segment on a new game called Conan, which some of our friends have recently started playing. They really enjoy it. So I have not personally played it either.
That's an open world kind of.
Yeah, some sort of open world concept game. But hopefully we'll have a review on that maybe for next week. But so just personally, when we were thinking about games, or when I was thinking about games to talk about, me and our producer Keith, we have been playing FIFA 17 pretty much nonstop. Yeah. Our other roommate, he likes to play Overwatch, so we've kind of been holding him out to dry here when it comes to play, because we've just been
poor log.
FIFA has just been
consuming.
Because they've
what's new about it?
We've been playing what's called Pro Club, and it's such a cool concept in a game. Each person creates their own player, either a defender, midfielder, right wing, center, striker, whatever, and then they start you out at an 80 overall, and then you play matches either by yourself or with a club that you create with your friends. So each person plays one position. So I usually play right wing, maybe a right mid. Keith's more of a center mid, but sort of a flexible player. But that's what's so cool about it. You play one position, and you play the one guy the whole game, so it's fun to have other friends. So when you have your club, you invite friends to your club, so you build your club up, and then you all get on at the same time, and then you have the whole field is basically each individual player is another player playing online. Yeah. So it's fun.
That's awesome.
And your stats, you slowly build your stats, and you have different skill points that you can put on through different styles of gameplay that you want to play. If you're a defender, you want more slide tackle, it's brought a sporting game which is usually just maybe a 1v1 experience, you versus one other player. I love how it incorporates. It's sort of like an RPG in a sense because you're.
So could you have 11 friends on a team and all playing? And
essentially, you could have 15 and have them in subs, and then have
my god! Why should they have them come in? I've never thought about that.
We haven't had a full team yet, but we've had. What, 8?
So basically what you're telling me is I should get this game.
Exactly.
Because when I go to the barge,
that's what I mean.
I can be playing FIFA with you guys.
Yeah, I say it gives. I mean, we have a huge.
I'm gonna get FIFA.
We play on Xbox, so we have a huge
they just
party.
Talked me into this.
See, we have a huge party full of all of our friends. We're all in the game at once. We're all playing our own position.
Is all defense taken?
We call things out. No, we don't have any.
Woo! Looks like I'm
defense.
Yeah. So
nice. Me and Dar.
It's just we've been playing a lot of FIFA and a lot of Pro Club. But one thing, because I have been getting a little burnout on Pro Club, because I do like to control the whole team every now and then. So
definitely.
I've been diving into the Ultimate Team aspect of it, and for FIFA, I know that when you type in FIFA 17 on YouTube, the number one thing you're gonna get are people opening packs for Ultimate Team.
Really?
That's the thing that really brings FIFA almost over any other sports game, just like globally, is because people are addicted to buying these packs and getting these Team of the Year, Team of the Season, Legend players. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like the collecting aspect of it. Like it's literally cards, but then when you use them in game to play against other people that are along your same skill and stuff. So you're opening these packs praying for good players and all this stuff. But I mean, if you have the funds, because if you don't pay, if it's like a pay to play type thing on Ultimate Team where you can get by without buying packs, but it's very difficult because you have to play a lot of games to collect the coinage and just to get. That's why it's so incredible. People spend thousands of dollars on this game just buying these packs so they can get a Team of the Year Lionel Messi, who's like 99 overall. He's the best player in all of the games. So, like I said, I've been dipping my toes a little bit into that, but overall as a whole, I mean, this FIFA game I've sunk more hours into this one already than I feel like I have in any other one.
Wow.
It's just because it has that role-playing aspect to it where you're leveling your guy and so. But just to end the gaming segment, I had a little thing, I wrote a note here. 2K, just as a whole, their servers are terrible.
Oh
absolutely terrible.
You can't play basketball against anybody online.
I just wonder because I had some issues playing 2K17, NBA 2K17, and I just thought maybe it was some fluky thing that I had to just. So I uninstalled the game, reinstalled it, and then it's still having issues, and I'm looking online and I'm just reading just pages and pages of people bashing. So I just kind of wanted to end the gaming segment with saying, 2K, get your shit together, please, when it comes to your servers. Because people still love your game and they buy it, and because it's a great game.
But we can't play with friends.
If you just please, it's a server, it's 2017, fix your situation, and we'll
fix ours so we can go live.
Yes, of course, we don't have a lot to talk about because our internet problems have been a part of the show this week too, but 2K servers, get your shit together.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up tonight, folks. We obviously don't have a Q&A because we are not live. Please, all the people we talk to about interviews, don't hold this against us. We will have our stuff together when we talk to you. And we look forward to catching you guys next week. We will be live. We will have the kinks figured out. And we will give you we will bounce back with a great episode 6. And you will not regret wasting your time this week on the stream went offline type deal. So thanks again for tuning in.
Thanks again.
And we'll see you next week.